Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and some wild stuff just happened on the set of CNN. And wow, I mean, you got to see it to believe it. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. There is a civil war in the Republican Party right now. And that civil war is over funding Ukraine, Israel, Taiwan. I'm all in favor of funding Israel. I don't know where I stand totally on Ukraine and Taiwan, although I understand the necessity to do something. Yeah, I try to hear both sides of the story here, and I'm just not an expert enough to give you false information. I'm not going to do that. I'm not an expert enough to tell you why or why not, but I will tell you that it bugs me when we're protecting the borders of other nations and not protecting our own. And it really bugs me when our Congress is waving the flag of another country, in this case Ukraine, in Congress and doing a Viva Ukraine chant. Have you ever seen the Ukrainian parliament hold American flags, all the money we sent them? You ever see them waving American flags? You ever see any other country do that? No, only we do ridiculous things like that. But Tony Gonzalez, a Republican representative, he said some things about Matt Gaetz and other Republicans on CNN that were absolutely shocking. If true, very shocking. But I don't know if they're true. I think they might just be vindictive. I don't know. But I'll tell you this, they were shocking. Like, that's the only word I can think of is shocking. I want you guys to hear it, and then I want you guys to let me know what you think. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm Carmine Sabia for Explain America. We love you guys. God bless you. Take care, everybody.
After finally passing a foreign aid package that is now headed to the U.S. Senate, my panel joins me now. Nice to see you all. And we have a real live, actual House Republican congressman here, Tony Gonzalez of Texas. So you voted yes on the foreign aid package. Do you have confidence that at this point, given that it is still possible that Marjorie Taylor Greene will push to kick him out of the speaker's chair, that he can survive?
He will survive. Look, the House is a rough and rowdy place, but Mike Johnson is going to be just fine. I served 20 years in the military. It's my absolute honor to be in Congress, but I served with some real scumbags. Look, Matt Gaetz, he paid minors to have sex with him at drug parties. Bob Good endorsed my opponent, a known neo-Nazi. These people used to walk around with white hoods at night. Now they're walking around with white hoods in the daytime. What didn't surprise me that some of these folks voted against aid to Israel, but I was encouraged to see by a nearly 10-to-1 mark that Republicans supported our allies on the battlefield. Wow.
Okay. I should say that the federal government did look into Matt Gaetz and those allegations, and they decided not to prosecute.
Unlike Joe Biden's poor Uncle Bozie, I think Mike Johnson's going to avoid the cannibals in his own party here. He stood up to him this weekend, and the adults retook control of the U.S. Congress. And I think people got sick and tired, he's one of them, of Marjorie Taylor Greene being in charge of their life. And they just finally said no. And so I think and I hope that the Democrats will continue to stand with Mike Johnson here for a functional Congress. It strikes me Johnson's trying to, there's a wide middle in this country. He's trying to drag our politics back into something away from the dysfunctional fringe and back into this wide middle where Congress can function, parties can have disagreements, but we're not in this constant turmoil because someone has a policy disagreement, we're going to toss them out. It's crazy, and it needs to stop. I wish they had changed the rules. I know he's not going to do it, but maybe he won't have to.
So I think he should absolutely get credit for taking a bold position here. I think he probably decided, you know what, this job isn't worth having if I'm not actually doing something. Yeah. And I think it was impressive, and I think the way he laid out a values-driven argument for the aid money, particularly to Ukraine, was very impressive, and he clearly bucked the hard right of his party. I'm maybe a little less bullish on the idea that this represents a sea change in how Republicans are going to operate on the Hill. I think we've seen time and again that if it requires this level of political courage to get even sort of the most basic, ultimately bipartisan legislation done, that doesn't bode well for the way Republicans are going to operate moving forward. It's requiring people to take this kind of profile and courage moment is generally not the way you get things done. But I would absolutely say Mike Johnson deserves credit for standing up.
And if there is a vote, should Democrats back him?
I think a lot of Democrats will look to keep him because the alternatives just really aren't that great. I'm old enough to remember when Republicans had what they called the Hassard Rule, right? Where you needed to have the majority of the majority in order to pass any bill. Now it seems that if you want to govern in the country, you have to find a way to work with Democrats if you're in the Republican Party, because there aren't enough Republicans who are willing to do the right thing on these big bills.